Hey everybody, we're back with new stream. We're going to be doing it on Mondays. We're playing the Devil May Cry series, and joining me for the entire playthrough of all of it is our good buddy, TheBurpyNinja.
Hello, everybody.
How you doing, Ninja?
I'm alright.
So we're doing the HD collection on PS4. We'll be doing 1 and 2 like this. 3 will be switching to the Switch version. So we want to check out that the freestyle mode that they added for it. And then 4 and DMC Devil May Cry will be on PS4 again, then 5 will be Xbox. That's better.
Hey, Jansen.
Jensen Bob Hansen. I like this remix.
Yeah, it's a good remix.
Of course, we're not really going to get lyrics until we get to Devil May Cry 3.
I'm absolutely crazy about it.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry in high definition.
You notice how they have to, like, they flash to white, like, before Dante actually shoots there?
Devil May Cry HD collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know why they do that?
Because it wasn't meant to do that or something.
No, because when Dante fires in that cutscene, his gun muzzle, like the muzzle flash, spells out 16.
Oh.
You know, because the opening cutscenes of every mission in Devil May Cry 3 has the number of the mission.
Nice.
That's one of the hardest ones to spot, because it's literally the gun flash. So, PS4 version. Devil May Cry HD collection came out on PS3 and Xbox 360. And then they put it on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. And it's like, okay, so what did they do to like improve it or justify buying it again on
Let's rock.
the next generation? One feature, and it's like, you'll love this, Ninja. They added the ability to quit out of the game. Couldn't do that in the PS3, Xbox 360 version. It's like if you wanted to quit out of the game and choose a different game in the collection, you had to quit the entire game, then launch it again. This is PS4. Oof.
Let's rock.
How you doing, Teak?
Sounds like the same issue that I have with the Legendary Edition.
Really?
Yeah, it. I mean, it brings up the launcher, but then it closes that window out and it opens up a new exe file.
The Devil May Cry collection isn't the worst collection I've played. That, like, hands down, has to be the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time trilogy. Like, don't buy the HD trilogy; it is absolute shit. But it is kind of lackluster. And it doesn't surprise me that it's still lackluster on PC.
There's a bunch of mods to try to help it to be up to quality.
I know the PC version of the HD collection does have a mod that adds style switching into Devil May Cry 3.
I think I saw something about that.
You've not tried it?
I haven't tried it. No, I haven't tried any of them because I don't have DMC on PC yet.
Honestly, I'm quite surprised.
I mean, I still have all my save files that have all the stuff I want on it for PS4, and my rule is not to buy a game I have already unless I lose access to it.
It's a good rule. It's a rule that I could probably do with following. What's that, Chrono? How many times do you own this? Only 3.
Yeah.
So I've still got my PS2 copy, I've got the HD collection on PS3, and I have it on PS4 now.
I don't even know where my PS2 copy's at.
There. So we have screwed around enough. Let's actually get started. And let's talk about my favourite feature that they added in the PS4 version. Alright. Subtitles.
2 millenniums ago, there was a war between
The PS2 version and the PS3 Xbox 360 version, the HD collection, doesn't have subtitles. But they added subtitles in for the PS4 version.
and stood up against this legion alone.
Which is great, because it means we can talk all over this, although we will be quiet for specific moments that we need to highlight the voice acting.
And continue to preserve harmony until his death. He became a legend.
So we're going to be taking bets on whether or not this game will end up offering me access to easy automatic mode. What do you think, Ninja?
I have to see how you get on.
I'm competent enough with 3 onwards, though certain things can give me trouble. Devil May Cry 1, I am not confident.
Hey, I'm the opposite. I'm very confident in 1, not too confident in 3.
Closed at 9. Again, no password.
Never got offered an easy mode. I think if you get past the first Phantom fight before you die like 3 times,
Whoa,
then they don't offer it to you.
It did very well.
What do we have here?
To be fair, like, some of the later stuff in this game is bullshit, especially when you get to Nightmare. And that second Griffin fight isn't fun.
You must be the handyman who'll take any dirty job. Am I correct?
Almost. I only take special jobs.
So I've said this before in various other places, but this is my favourite incarnation of Dante.
You're the man who lost a mother and a brother
Mine
to
as
evil
well.
20 years ago. The son of the legendary Dark Knight Sparta, Mr. Dante.
Well, it's not that Second Griffin isn't...
Well, the way I
Like,
figure
it's
it,
not like you'll die to
this
Second
is
Griffin,
a lot
it's just dealing with Second Griffin is
If I kill
irritating.
each one that comes,
So you fight him on the
Yeah.
ship.
the jackpot sooner or later.
In that case,
Yeah, Teak had trouble with the, what I like to call the evil kite. I think it's actually supposed to be a bird, not a kite.
Are you really the son of the legendary Dark Knight Sparta? Didn't your daddy teach you how to use a sword?
So you remember what it was like playing this in 2001 and this was the opening?
Yeah.
It was like, oh, this game is so cool, I look forward to actually playing it, and then it was actually really hard.
Even as a child, I had.
I think because I played the
There's
demo
blood in me.
that I I got to Phantom and then I was like, oh man, this game's fucking hard.
Looks like I'm getting closer.
That fire behind Trish, that looks so much like PS1 Resident Evil fire.
it seems that way. But
It
I'm
does
not your
kinda,
enemy.
yeah.
My name is Trish. I came here to seek your help. To put an end to the underworld.
What?
It probably is. Yeah, it probably is.
Going Capcom.
20 years ago, Moon is the emperor
So,
of the underworld
one thing I feel like
resident.
Devil May Cry 1 doesn't really get enough praise for is its soundtrack.
His powers were sealed by
Yeah.
Sparta. He's attempting to gain control of the
It's like we all like
human
Devil May Cry
world
3
once
and 4 and 5
He's been
because their
preparing to
soundtracks
open the
have
gate on
lyrical tracks.
again.
And it's like Taste of
Malaya
Blood, Divine Hate, Suffer. Devil May Cry 3 like The Time Has Come, Shall Never Surrender, Devil Trigger, Subhuman, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry 1 doesn't have lyrics, but it has a much more atmospheric soundtrack, I think, that
The
works
castle
way
is
better
above
for
this
most of the
cliff.
game.
Come on, let's go.
Agreed.
Plus, Ultraviolet is just like low-key one of my favourite tracks in the series. Gameplay! Well, bye. Gate's locked. We have to go forward.
No one has ever returned to life from this gate, it says. But I mean,
Until now. I'll tell you one thing I don't miss about the older Devil May Cries, and that's the fixed camera angle for platforming. Like, the fixed camera angle is great for atmosphere, and I was discussing this with Chansum yesterday while we were doing the Nocturne stream. Pre-rendered graphics are something we never need to go back to because the technology is far ahead enough. But fixed camera angles to emphasize atmosphere, I think, still work really well and is something we probably should do more of.
yeah.
But for platforming's sake, no, don't do that ever. Hope you got that blue orb before you came in here, because you ain't going back.
It'll be that secret mission all over again, where if you fail it, then you've got to wait the entire game to do it again.
What is that, in like mission 4?
I think that is mission 4. It's one of the early missions. Yeah, I think so. I think that's right.
Looks like the statue of a god that the Castellans worshipped.
I always loved the way that statue looked.
It's like Devil May Cry's environment design is fantastic, and I think
It
it's
is.
something the series never pulled off as well again.
That's one of the reasons why I didn't really like 3's design. 3's a good game,
Mhm.
but its design just felt less than compared to 1.
The environments are far less compelling.
Yeah, it just felt like they was trying to pull off less compelling iterations of 1's.
Plus, I love the Resident Evil DNA that's present in this.
Yeah.
Like the examining stuff here, with all the really interesting descriptions that also give you hints of Dante's personality, which
Yeah.
really disappeared in 2 and only made a slight reappearance in 3.
3 adding it kind of felt like, and the game kind of feels like it too, where they didn't even want to do it, but they're like, oh well, it was in 1, so I guess we kind of have to do it.
So, how do you feel about this first mission?
It's fine. I've
How-
got no issues with it.
How do you feel about this first mission when replaying the game?
It's kind of tedious.
45, I think that's all of them.
Especially when you consider the fact that DMC1 works off the system of you need a certain amount of orbs to get an S, and then you have to beat the level in a certain amount of time to get an S.
Mm.
So if you don't get the orbs, like the game is wanting you to the first time in future playthroughs, then you won't get an S.
Yeah. I really don't like the design, and later Devil May Cry games really emphasize it. But like, do the levels fast. but also find all the hidden orbs because we're judging you on on what percentage of orbs you've gone. It's like you should have one or the other, not both.
Yeah. And this one, they don't really make it apparent that like that's what you're supposed to do. I think the one that really sort of pissed me off was 4, because 4 had a thing was how many orbs you collected in the level. I forget what the option was called, but I was like, that's stupid. Like, my rank shouldn't depend on me like going around the entire fucking level, getting every single orb that's in the level.
And there it is, folks, the first swear of the playthrough, and it wasn't me.
I'm sorry. This is not a wholesome stream.
What the fuck are you apologising for? I would have swore sooner or later.
Because, I don't know. Here we go. All these books. How interesting. Oh, he's interested in books, but not a statue.
So, how do you feel about the marionettes? Like, in comparison with the other standard enemies in the series.
I think they'll probably be my favorite design. Challenge-wise, they don't offer that much of a challenge, though.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like later games just kind of try to rip off the marionettes. Like, I think 4 does it, like, pretty on the nose, where you're like, oh, this is basically trying to be the marionette.
Yeah, with the scarecrow things.
Yeah.
Gotta love that million stab.
Yeah, I love that move. That move, Stinger, and then the sword uppercut, I guess you'd call it. I don't know what it's called.
The launcher. Yeah, I don't know what it's called either. Like, the downward slice that follows it is the helm splitter. But I don't know what the launcher's called.
See, I know very little of the actual, like, move names. It's just like, oh yeah, that one. I do that one.
Let me see. Actions. High time, kick, jump, roll. The interesting thing with all these tutorial images is they're Dante's beta design.
I always found that weird about the game was, why does he look like that, but he's got a long-ass coat in the game?
It's not just like the coat's long, the design of the top is different, and I think the pants are different as well.
Yeah. Another thing that I think I noticed in the original game, I don't know if it's still here, but if you looked at his shadow, his coat didn't appear like it was on him.
No, you're right. Yeah, no, you can see it's just a regular Dante. I think the thing with that Seek is the specific Japanese design of whenever Dante is not in a case, his life is boring, and so we shouldn't see that. Like, that feels to me like a very Kamiya attitude to have, and I feel like it sooner would have kept that attitude.
Yeah. Which is kind of what they do when they first cut to Dante in DMC5. Which is he's just sitting around with no power, just waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, the whole thing of, yeah, no, we only take very specific jobs that involve demons, and also Lady seems to take a very large cut of the money that we get.
That annoys the fuck out of me.
Yeah, but Bayonetta's personality is very different from Dante's. Like, there are similarities in the way she'll treat enemies, but the way she treats everything else is very different.
Plus, you gotta remember, Kamiya got to do DMC 1, and then they took him off DMC 2, and so then he left Capcom, and then saw how the DMC series evolved, and then that's how he built off of Bayonetta.
Bayonetta is
So
definitely influenced by
he basically
3.
learned. Yeah.
One thing that always kind of catches me by surprise with the MC1 is just how stingy the game is with red orbs.
It's stingy with fucking green orbs.
Oh, just stingy with orbs then. Okay, that one is pissing me off.
The shotgun guy.
Yeah, shooting me from off screen. Well, fucking god, I do not want to die on the first mission.
Gotta look bad on the report.
Yeah, I got way too focused in hitting everything that wasn't a shotgun dude. Oh, this isn't gonna go well.
You'll be alright. I believe.
What I really want right now is Stinger. It's like, oh yeah, all these enemies in a line, Stinger.
Yeah. I would do Stinger, and then I would do Million Stab, then I'd do the Uppercut. Are you an Ebony and Ivory fan, or are you do you use the shotgun?
It honestly depends on the situation. They both have their uses. And one thing I wish they would have brought back in from 3 would be the ability to switch between 2 guns.
Yeah. It's weird. I see a lot of people use Ebony and Ivory, and it always weirds me out.
I like Ebony and Ivory for the rapid firepower. The shotgun is for when you're getting close to stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought the shotgun was really good for. I mean, it was the perfect middle ground for most things. It wasn't too powerful, but it did enough to get shit away from you.
Screen clear. That's
Yeah.
definitely one of the best things. Like, knock everything back. Okay.
Judge of Death. There's an eerie aura surrounding it.
I like how explorable the castle is, though. Like, you're not really pushed. You are kind of pushed in a specific direction, but like it's still holding some of that Resident Evil DNA of like, yeah, no, there's stuff here. Check it out.
Yeah, I love to like you said, you have a very specific goal of what you're supposed to do in the level, but the game lets you go wherever the hell you want.
Yeah. I think DMC3 does also kind of do that, but so much of the tower is locked off from you. in DMC3 at any given moment.
Yeah. I think in regards to 3, the one mission I wish they didn't give you free reign to explore on is the one where you have to turn the little like wheel thing. Because like I got like that mission takes me 30 minutes because I never remember like the right combination. So it's just like, well, where am I supposed to go? The game's not telling me, and then I finally figure it out, and I'm like, well, why did you have me go up and down the fucking tower if I was just supposed to go here?
Up and down and all around. I was stuck in the million stabs, so I couldn't get out of the way of the spinning dude. That's one thing I do really like about the combat from 3, because I main Trickster. So, like, dodge cancelling? Right.
Yeah. I'm a Trickster main as well.
I'm wondering if with the freestyle mode, I'll get more use out of Gunslinger. Like, committing to Gunslinger for a full mission? No, never going to be worth it. But if you can switch between any of them, there's like, there might be something there for it.
Yeah. I could never get into Gunslinger.
No. Alright, give me the sword.
I mean, you could do some cool stuff, but it was like, yeah, but
Well, your guns are worthless.
not really interesting. Yeah. I remember I thought this scene was so fucking cool as a kid.
It's absolutely ridiculous. It's like, okay, we've been going for half an hour, and this is the second time Dante has been impaled by a sword. And then, like, he just pulls himself up through the sword, and, like, look at how big the crossguard is.
Yeah. I think I remember one of my relatives being like, how does that not hurt?
Why is this game so hard if Dante can do this kind of shit in cutscenes? I do like Alistair's design. It's kind of a shame it never turns up again because the rest of the series just uses Rebellion.
Yeah. I felt like Alistair was just like a one-hit wonder.
The same is kind of true of like every weapon. As I remember, it was such an interesting idea with Devil May Cry 5, where it's like, oh, Cerberus is coming back, and then it's actually not. Like, it's a different Cerberus weapon.
It's Cerberus, but not really.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they did the same. I think the Ifrit iteration in 5 is called Beowulf.
It's Balrog. Beowulf is 3.
Balrog. You're right. You're right.
So, the trick with the shotgun in Devil May Cry 1.
And look, it's the gun Teak forgot to pick up.
There's like, the shotgun fires normally this fast. That's not bad, but if you move back and forth when shooting it, so much faster.
Of course you can. I love a shotgun in this game.
It's a good shotgun. Like, Devil May Cry 1 probably has the guns a little bit overpowered. Definitely in comparison with 3. 2, they really overpower the guns. 3, they
Yeah.
went so far in the other direction.
I was gonna say, 2 is like the most OP guns in the entire series.
Yeah. What was it? People were complaining that the guns in Devil May Cry 1 were pointless.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, the guns are just there to like get enemies to back off. They're not there to be used like Resident Evil, where that's how you kill stuff.
The way I use guns, in why I usually do kind of favour Ebony and Ivory, is to buff up the combos a little, keep them going.
Right.
Like, the guns have a decent amount of power here, but you'll notice I'm getting no style rating from them.
Yeah.
So I think the thing that Devil May Cry 1 does that the rest of the series kind of missed was that the guns are kind of your backup.
Yeah. Because you're right, the guns really never counted toward your style points. That you all had to do your attacks in order to get some style points.
Okay, you fuck up. I feel like as far as like not finding the shotgun goes, it's something most people find and we expect everybody to find, because we expect everybody to be destroying everything they find for the orbs.
Yeah.
And so if somebody's not doing that, it's perfectly understandable they wouldn't actually find the shotgun.
I think that's mainly where I come from is well, I mean, just destroy everything with your sword. You gotta get a giant ass sword, just fuck shit up.
There's an immense power that will not allow anyone to get closer. Before I can confront the lion, I'll need a sign.
It was like that little effect it did when you got close and it did that little thing.
Like, I do like this, because this is again like part of the Resident Evil DNA of like, yeah, here's something for you to check out. And then remember this, there's a key that will be needed for this later.
Yeah.
I like it. It encourages exploration and analysis. Oh, mannequins are back. Marionettes.
Like you said, it shows that Resident Evil DNA, because it introduces very early on the idea that you're gonna have to go back and solve stuff that you can't do right now.
To a degree, 3 does it as well. 4 does it to a much lesser degree. And then I feel like 5 just doesn't do it.
Yeah, as it progressed, they stopped doing it.
This is where the guiding souls gather. So that's actually way later in the game, isn't it?
Yeah, that's... Well, actually, you're like maybe 3 or 4 missions off.
Staff of Judgment. So whenever I come in this room for the rusty key, I always expect the Sin Scissors to attack on my way out. And it's always like, oh wait, they don't attack yet until the second time you go through this room.
Yeah.
It's cool they brought these things back in Devil May Cry 5, but also fuck that they brought these things back in Devil May Cry 5.
Pain in the ass.
Yeah. If you know how to do it, you can basically, I think, two-shot these.
Yeah. The first shot's just to stagger them.
Like
And
that.
then the second shot kills them. Yeah, just like that. One of the most satisfying things to do in this game.
I'm actually really happy I got it with the first one. That could have gone better, but, like, wasn't too bad.
Did alright.
And this will get us out of the second mission. Oh, phantom babies. Like, each of these is an orb, so, like, definitely want to kill them all. There, we already saw this. Give him the Staff of Judgment.
I know it doesn't. I don't think it works as well as Ebony and Ivory, but I just use the double trigger and just run around.
Fair point, because Alistair makes you go really quick. You know, see, I think that'd be one of the most interesting things Capcom could do with the Resident Evil 2 remake concept. Create, like, this whole alternate universe Resident Evil. Yeah, I think that could be a cool idea. Like, alternate universe Resident Evil, instead of President's daughter was kidnapped in 2004. Oh no, it was Resident Evil 5 and it was Resident Evil 3.5 and Leon was infected with a progenitor virus and yada yada yada.
I'd play it.
I think it'd be interesting. Alright, now we have Alistair, definitely by Stinger. Alright. Destroyer of Ardor. So this is basically the hard line, where missions 1 and 2 aren't too difficult. I screwed up a little on mission 1 and almost died. Like missions 1 and 2 aren't that difficult. This is the barrier that everybody comes up against on their first playthrough.
Yeah. This is the moment where this game made or break you.
Pretty much. There is a second moment, but we'll get to that. We'll see how that goes.
Curious to know what the second moment is, because I'm not sure if we know. Because I had a moment where I didn't play this game for months because it was too hard. I didn't know how to beat it. But I'm curious to know what the second one is from your perspective.
It's Nilo Angelo.
Oh. That wasn't what was it for me, but
I think, like, Nilo Angelo is such a unique enemy concept in this game. And it's the kind of thing I always really like. In games like this, the mirror match kind of thing. You spend so much time fighting giant monsters and everything. And then you come up against the human-shaped dude.
yeah.
And it's always way more interesting. But it's also harder because there's an enemy type you don't really have experience with.
Staff of Hermes.
Okay, so the Lion Door, the Staff of Hermes, the place where souls gather. That's 3 things we need to keep track of now. Alright, making sure I put the shotgun back on. Like, Teak doing Devil May Cry 1 recently, one thing that constantly bothered me was him not using the shotgun on the skull enemies.
Yeah. I think he did eventually learn that trick.
I think I finally saw him do it during the third fight with Nightmare. Use the shotgun on the skulls. Okay. You know what the problem is now, though, Ninja?
What? What's
You
that?
gotta go back.
We gotta go back. Oh, for the... You're gonna go back for the blue orb?
Yeah. It's not that big a deal if we fall down. Because it puts us on the opposite side, which is where we want to go anyway. The problem is if we fall
Right.
down on the way back.
Yeah. That's why I just used, is it air hike or air raid?
Air hike is the double jump.
Oh,
Oh,
no, the double trigger, flying mechanic.
Oh, that's air raid.
Yeah, I used that.
We were right there.
It happens, Chrono. It happens to me all the time.
Fucking Skeletor boys.
The good thing is this part's not that difficult, so it doesn't last that long.
Yeah. Plus, like, I think at least one of them will always give you a green orb, which is to... I think is deliberately designed to counter the fact that your health constantly drains down here.
Right.
And, like, my thought is usually because, like, oh, you're underwater, so you're probably drowning. But, like, your health doesn't drain during the underwater sections. Just like, what the hell? There we go.
Alright, there we go. Practicing.
In fact, I feel like people who played Devil May Cry felt that Resident Evil 4 was very familiar when they got to the castle. I feel at least some of the texture work is shared between the two. Like, take a look at the wall textures here.
Yeah, I can see that. There's a specific puzzle, I think, where it takes you to the mines, but it does the same thing that this game does, where it's like, oh, you got to get the lion thing or whatever. I'm like, oh, this is a ripoff of DMT1.
Yeah, I think RE4 calls it the sacrifice to the lion or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Say hello to Phantom. The make or break moment of Devil May Cry 1.
What a big surprise. I hope for your sake.
I remember
you get something
thinking,
inside that big
oh, this
body.
is so cool, my first boss. And then after the 5th or 6th try, it wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. So Ninja, do you want to keep the chat occupied while I deal with this? And hopefully don't embarrass myself.
How boss the game with the camera.
Not wrong.
See, I guess I don't see it because I've played this one so much that it's one of those things where you just kind of get used to it. It's kind of like what we say, you know, with fixed camera angles, how people say, oh, they're too difficult, but for us, it's easy because we played those so much.
Fixed camera angles can still give me shit. There are some bad fixed cameras. Back here, you little bitch.
Ooh boy, that was close.
It was close. I was a little concerned at one point. But there you have it, the make-or-break moment of Devil May Cry 1. And I feel like every Devil May Cry after this has one of those, or like Devil May Cry 3 and 4 both have moments like this. Devil May Cry 3's moment is Cerberus. I remember when I played Devil May Cry 3 for the first time, the original Western version that was on Japanese hard as normal. Like, Cerberus fucked me up.
How you gotta be?
Because I'm just that good. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to switch to a file that I made earlier. So this is where we are, 39 minutes 38 seconds.
Right.
We're going to switch to my other file that I have, which has done some red orb grinding. Which you may notice is 9 minutes 51, 9 hours 51 seconds, 25 minutes. It is just after Mission 3, though. It's not even a New Game Plus or anything, like, literally doing this for, like, 9 hours to grind red orbs. Fixed camera angles are fine as long as they don't change direction. There's that, but also fast-paced action when you really need to know where your enemy is. Big problem. So if we take a look at this, Stinger level 2, Round Trip, Air Raid, and Vortex level 2. Along with all the blue orbs that the shop has, and most of the purple orbs. You still with us, Ninja?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Alright. So yeah, we're gonna switch to this.
So this is the file we're using for the rest of the run?
Yes. The
Okay.
pre-prepared file that I have for if I ever had to stream Devil May Cry one day. And what I'll do as well, like, there's our health and devil trigger. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I did the grinding.
Okay.
For anybody who wants to do the grinding themselves. First thing you do is you don't run from Phantom, you turn around and punch him in his stupid fucking face. That's a 632, and Phantom drops that. Which is 20 orbs from the looks of it, that's not worth it. But you come in here, and this is a secret mission. Say that Phantom's fucking face.
Is this where you grind it?
Pretty much. You do this, and it's 100 orbs per run. This is why it took like 9 hours.
They have a lot of patience for me.
I didn't do it all in one go. I also did it really badly just then. But the point is, like, you don't even have to win. Because the Phantom Babes are still here. The secret mission is to do it in a certain time.
Right.
But you do that and then leave and... Save the game, reset. And you can just keep doing it. And that eventually gets us to where we are now. which is the point where it'll be far more embarrassing when Nilo Angelo kicks the shit out of me.
You got this, dude.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Part of it's self-depreciation, part of it is lack of actual confidence. But the self-depreciation is important to note.
You've gotta temper expectations.
I want to see how badly things are probably going to go, though. This mission 4 is when that secret mission we were talking about comes up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go do that.
Oh no. I hate this mission.
There's also the thing of, like Ninja said, you only get one shot at this mission, and then you have to wait until you play the game again. Until you finish the game and come around again on New Game Plus. You can just quit. Like,
yeah.
Save after doing Phantom Baby or whatever. For the grinding, I don't think you actually want to succeed with Phantom Baby 2. But, like, save after it, and then go for this. If you don't win, reset. And then try it again. It will require you to do the mission again, but it's very close to the start, so it's less of an issue.
Right.
Yeah, the failure for 8 straight hours is very much deliberate, because if you succeed, they'll cut you off from doing it again.
No more free orbs, Chrono.
Pretty much. Also worth checking, this is where you see how to do all the moves. Because they won't tell you how to do all the moves when you buy them. So Ninja, how do you feel about Round Trip?
I never use it.
Yeah, there's a good reason for that, let's be fair.
I can never find a good use for it.
I do tend to use it. Oh, go on.
And it does that.
Yeah.
And it does that. It just...
I will use its equivalent in Devil May Cry 3. Like, I will throw the sword into enemies, and then I will switch to another weapon. But in this, you can't really do that.
Yeah, well, I think in 3, it doesn't just throw it in one direction. I think it actually moves around the arena or whatever. So it's useful then, but in 1, it just kind of goes in one direction, so it's like, well, what's the point?
What I'm thinking of in 3, actually... impales itself in a single enemy and does more damage, like does a little damage over time.
Yeah.
And so while that's happening, switch to like Cerberus or Beowulf, or Agni and Ruger if you're feeling nasty, and like just do some more damage. The problem with this is like there's only one other melee weapon you get in this that you could do that with. Ifrit, and the switching is not fast enough.
It's not, yeah. I remember when I figured out that you could switch, but I mean it's still like it's slow compared to DMC3.
Yeah, because Dante does a little pose while he does it.
Yeah. Also, I don't think we're at the mission yet.
I guess not. I thought it'd be go down, go back up, then go back down, which is a very Devil May Cry 1 kind of thing to do. But I guess not.
Oh well.
I tell you what, secret mission I really do hate. Oh, was that Ninja?
I said we don't need that fresh hell in our life.
No. I tell you what secret mission I really do hate. The one in the sewer where you've got the 2 rock spiders, and you can't hit either of them. You have to get one of them to kill the other by shooting rocks out of his mouth.
I hate that one.
It's absolutely awful.
There's a lot of them that... I think there's 1 in 3 that I hate. And it's one where if you didn't have... I think it's air hike. Then you basically can't do it. Because you don't have the skills to beat it. And I hated that. Because I was doing a run of trying to do all the secret missions. And I got to it. And I couldn't beat it because it didn't have the ability.
Is that the one where you need to stay in the air for 20 seconds?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, that is like one of the worst secret missions in the series.
It's either that one or it's one where you have to like... you have to climb a bunch of like... What I remember is cubes, and there's like a bunch of cubes, and you have to like climb them at a certain level. But you can't reach a certain height unless you've got the air hike ability, and I didn't have that, so I couldn't beat it.
You didn't have it because it's 20,000 orbs and there's other shit you could be spending it on.
Right.
Get out of the wall, you bastard. I hate enemies that will just hide, like go into the wall so you can't do anything.
That's probably one of the worst things about the Scissor Sisters is that they
Sin Scissors. The Scissor Sisters are a band.
There you go. You're right. You're right.
I will admit, Ninja, that I also don't feel like dancing. But like we have to do this. Alright, so Shadow. Fun fact, if you play on easy, Shadow does not appear anywhere in the game. Were you aware of that, Ninja?
I'm aware of that. I did do an easy playthrough back in the day, so I figured that out and I said, oh, well this makes it easy.
I think it's one of those interesting things. Like, if you've never done an easy run of Devil May Cry 1, I do recommend checking it out for those differences. Just like I recommend doing an easy run of Resident Evil 4 for the same thing.
Now that one I haven't done.
There you look, fucker. And so begins Devil May Cry's long history of having enemy introductions, with the cutscene ending in the enemy attacking you. Which you gotta be ready for. I love it when I get on the... when it does the... shit. I love it when it does the pole stab and you just jump on top of it.
Yeah, I can never pull that off.
The tell is not as obvious as like a lot of other things. You know, I completely forget what the goal of this mission actually is.
You need to go to the very top and get the sword.
The Melancholy Soul, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm there thinking, like, the Nilo Angelo fight's the next mission, right? And it's like, no, the mission's called Black Knight. Of course it's this mission.
Also, did you know you don't need to do the little puzzle? You can literally jump off the wall and jump up there to get it?
Yep.
Just...
the death sentence. It's a ceremonial sword, so it can't be used as a weapon, so stop trying to equip it, fuckface.
I always found that funny that they give you a lot of really cool swords in this game, but it's like, no, you can't use it. It's for ceremonial purposes.
It's better than what it'd be if it was Devil May Cry 2, where it'd just be another sword that you could use.
Yeah. 2 was just, oh look, this is a sword.
And that's how you're supposed to get up there. But yeah, 2's weapon variety was just really disappointing.
I think I ended up just sticking with Rebellion.
Honestly, it's probably the best idea. There's the smaller sword that's faster but doesn't do as much damage. And then there's the bigger sword that's slower but does more damage. And it's like, you may as well just stick with Rebellion. Must have been where the Castellans slept.
Combat in there is just so slow. As no matter what you use, you still feel like you're moving super slow.
Like, the big thing with Devil May Cry 2, for me, is like just how gimped Stinger is.
Just every move in there feels super like underleveled or underpowered.
Like Stinger in particular, because like Stinger level 1 in this, like a little push forward, that's pretty good. Then Stinger level 2 is this, and it's great. But then Stinger in Devil May Cry 2 is take a step forward and lunge. It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
The Stinger is just like one of those moves you'll do so much.
Stinger in DMC2 is, hang on, give me a minute.
Yeah, that's another thing to remember for later. Statue of a female with a melancholic expression. There's an opening to place something. Will you stab her in the chest? Yes.
Yes. Yes, I will.
And she opened her mouth in shock.
You what?
This is cool, though.
This stinking hole was the last place I thought I'd find anyone with some guts.
Michelangelo is so cool.
He is. So, question. So, if they were to remake this game, do you think they would put more effort into making him look like Virgil in his first appearance, or would he just, mirror Dante?
I think he looks enough like Virgil already, like when we see him without the helmet. Because it's basically Dante's face again, but with the hair up.
Right.
Which is what Virgil always is.
Oh, almost got hit by that hand there.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I need to actually move. That'd be a bad way to start this fight. And the introduction to Ultraviolet, one of my favourite music tracks.
It's such a good opening to the fight.
It really is. Like, Super Ultraviolet, which plays for the last fight, is also really cool. Like, I like how Ultraviolet is less forceful about it.
Right. So if Phantom's the test, what would you say this fight is?
That's a good question. Because, like, this is definitely, like... I think the main point of evaluation on how you deal with specific enemies. Because, like, Nilo Angelo is a human-sized enemy, the same as the marionettes are. Whereas Phantom is a big monster.
Right.
Nilo Angelo, I suppose, conceptually is more relevant right now, while we don't deal with monster types regularly until after we leave the castle.
Yeah.
Because then we get the introduction of the assaults.
It's going extremely well.
Yeah, I feel like he wasn't really trying there. Like, I was quite concerned, but I feel like Nilo Angelo didn't really try.
You gave him a headache.
You notice the cape disappears before he floats into the air?
I just saw that, yeah. I love how it says, hey look, clear time is 9 hours and you gotta be... That's great.
You think if it wasn't 9 hours, like if we'd cut it down to maybe 5, do you think I'd get the S?
Probably. At least 2. At least 2, you'd definitely get an S. Oh, that is amazing.
Alright, Guiding of the Soul. So this is kind of an awkward start. It's like, oh, Melancholy Soul is gonna, you know, really need to be dealt with quickly. Oh, also, deal with a shadow.
Yeah, I always found that kind of a pain in the ass. It's like, oh, you need to get to this place quickly. But also, deal with this fucker.
Yeah, by this point, like, this is your second shadow of the game. You are not competent with it yet. God damn. Ugh. The good thing is that I know where we're going. It's like having a little under 2 minutes to get there, not really an issue.
Right.
Of course, if we want to try and get the hidden blue orb in this area. Does that require air hike? Or am I thinking of something else?
I think that might require air hike.
Yeah, that's going to require air hike.
Yeah.
Always the last move I buy because it's not essential to complete the game. And, you know, I'd much rather have abilities that make me better in combat.
Right. Which is what I typically go for. I go for what's gonna, save my ass in combat, and not, oh look, I can double jump now.
So I think I pulled that off a bit faster than the last mission.
Definitely. Tremendously so.
Thank you.
And you still gotta be.
Just can't do it. I can't get any better than the B. There will be no A's or S's in this run.
Oh, I thought you were at least gonna get an S on this one.
The introduction of the Sin Scythe.
See, now this fucker, I hate this fucker.
Yeah. Sin Scythe? No, it looks like he's got a pair of scissors. Have I always been getting confused with which one is which? No, Sin Scissors.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it should send scissors.
Okay. Thank you. Honestly, you really do need a guide to get a lot of these hidden blue orb fragments.
Especially, I mean, you can get a lot of the hidden ones, but the ones that are really gonna mess you up are the secret mission ones.
Well, the secret mission ones are at least usually clear in how to get them. I mean the ones that require you to be in very specific areas.
Right, yeah. Like, I think, I'm not even sure Teak got the one where you basically have to go to that observatory-like area and, like, just stand there for, like, 10 seconds. Just so the blue orb will drop down. But you would never know it's there if you didn't stand there and, like, wait.
Alright, let me make sure I know how to do this. Alright. Well, I ran out of Devil Trigger. Like, Air Raid is so overpowered in this. Wonderful. Love it.
It is. It's weird to me how Air Raid is so powerful in this game, and then like in 3, it's tied to Niven, and like nobody probably used it because nobody cares to use Niven.
Yeah, I wonder if that'll be a thing like the thought I had with Gunslinger of like, with the ability to choose any weapon rather than just 2, would I use Navan more often? I always called it Navan. I feel like I'm probably the one that's wrong.
You pronounce it the way you want, Chrono.
That's the important thing. But yeah, like, it's a weird weapon. Have you ever seen it used well?
I haven't.
It's really weird to see. But it is super effective. It's a very good long-range weapon. Okay, camera is not helping there. Really good long-range weapon. Probably, like, way more effective at crowd control than the guns. But it requires really awkward and precise joystick movements to do all the different attacks.
That was my problem with it, was I could just, like, you had to be too precise with it, and I could never figure it out. I think I figured out how to get a triple S with it just for the statue. But after that, I'd never use Niven again.
Oh, that'll actually be a really good thing about doing Devil May Cry 3 on Switch, being able to do all the statues. It's like, oh, if I don't have the specific weapon the statues require, I'm not running back to the divinity statue. Like, just having the ability to choose from all the weapons, like that'll be great.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I think 3 needed that. Because there's a lot of moments where you're like, oh, I wish I'd have brought this instead of, you know, what I actually have.
Yeah.
But it never lets you switch.
I definitely had that when I did Devil May Cry 3 last year. Dealing with Agni and Rouge the first time, using Cerberus had it down like nothing. Was really a problem with Agni and Rouge there with Cerberus. And then during the rematch, during the boss rush, I didn't have Cerberus equipped because I had Beowulf equipped, and so dealing with them was so much harder. Because my entire strategy revolves around using Cerberus. You just die, jeez.
This boss is a nightmare on everything this time mode.
You know, I'm gonna preempt you before you say that again, but like, what isn't a nightmare on Dance Must Die mode?
I would say your first big challenge in this game is probably probably maybe the second year ending up there. Like, this isn't too difficult, but it's just the fact that everything in Dante Must Die mode does so much damage, and the fact that you're locked off and you can't really move anywhere is what makes it difficult.
Fucking hell. I've thrown like a full air raid at this guy. Alright, that's a death.
Well, first death of the run. You had him on the ropes.
Ugh. I don't want to waste a yellow orb for that. This is like a full meter using air raid, and the bastard didn't go down. Like, that's ridiculous.
I think the problem with that boss in particular is that it's got certain, like, I guess points of like damage. So you'll hit it once, you'll damage it, and then it gets a certain period where it's got invincibility frames on it, so you can't, well, even if you're hitting it, you're doing nothing to it until like the next phase where it's like, okay, well, now you can damage it again.
That sounds crunchy.
What are we having for dinner? Bugs.
I think that went a lot better that time. Walking out with full health and a full devil trigger meter. Definitely say that one better. Nice. The guns probably were a little overpowered in this game.
Some of them were. I think the grenade launcher is probably the most OP gun in the game.
Especially if you use the walking back and forth trick to cancel out the reload animation.
Yeah.
It's like, it's supposed to be balanced by the fire rate, but the fact that you can cancel that out so easily. Like, Alright. Round 2.
You got it this time. See what I mean? Is you're doing damage, the game's just not counting it.
I don't like the, it'll start attacking from within the walls.
Yeah, I don't think either. I really don't like when he does his little spin attack thing, and there's really no way to know where the hell he's gonna go. Ooh, this was the one.
And we don't run into him again. He said, knowing that we're going to run into him again.
You've got a while.
I forget if we actually have to fight it next time it shows up.
We do actually have to fight him, yeah.
God damn it.
Well, okay, he shows up, I think, twice more. The first time, we don't have to fight him, but then the encounter on the ship, we actually have to fight him.
No. So, do you think it's worth talking about why this game is sometimes in 4:3, sometimes in widescreen?
Sure, yeah, because, I mean, I don't think I know that.
When it's in 4:3, that's because of FMVs. Like the clock spinning in the background here. So anything that's pre-rendered in this game will be displayed in 4:3. Anything that isn't goes into widescreen. It's the only game I've seen like this. Oh yeah, shit, I forgot my health training. It's the only game I've seen in a HD collection like this that does that. But also, all the other games in HD collections didn't really make such use of FMVs.
Yeah.
Like, Devil May Cry 1 uses FMVs for such arbitrary shit.
And then DMC2 just goes full on, just using the actual engine.
Yeah, and DMC3 continues that. You know what I think might have been the bridging point that really convinced them to do that?
What's that?
Metal Gear Solid 2.
Probably. I think MGS2 influenced a lot of people to do that.
Like, Metal Gear Solid as a series never used FMVs, it was always in engine.
Right.
Which I think, like, even in the case of MGS1, worked out for the better. MGS1 did some stuff with those models in cutscene that, like, no other PS1 game did. Like, Grey Fox versus Rex. You never saw models move like that in other PS1 games.
Yeah, you gotta give MGS1 credit for doing stuff like that. Even though it didn't probably look the best, it wanted to tell something, and it didn't shy away from doing what it wanted to do.
I think, like, definitely one of the better points of doing that on a development side as well would be that it took up less space on the disc.
Right.
It's like, you've got stuff like Final Fantasy 8 and 9 are 4 discs each. And I've been going through Final Fantasy 9 recently, I went through Final Fantasy 9 recently, and disc 1 is like 8 hours, which isn't long. And I feel like it's largely because of how many FMVs they've got there. Yeah, just dump this.
The majority of the size is just the cutscenes.
Pretty much. And there's the door.
Yeah, I've always liked when games just use the in-engine stuff. I've never liked the noticeable switch to, oh, this is actually a cutscene.
Yeah, because it can be really jarring.
S, see, you got an S.
Yes. That's Smoking Sick style. As cool as the idea is in Final Fantasy games on the PS1, when it switched to the backgrounds being FMVs, it was always really kind of jarring. It was cool to see on a technical level, but it was always taking you out of the game.
Yeah.
Like the scene in FF8, where the battle between Balam Garden and Galbadia Garden, where you're fighting the dude on the jetpack machine thing over an FMV of the war going on. And it's cool, but also the background is clearly higher detail than the characters that you're looking at.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. You know what is really weird about Devil May Cry 1 to go back to?
What's that?
The little bits between missions before it gives you the mission.
The, I guess the menu thing, where it's like, oh, this is mission 10.
No, not so much that. Like, we went through the door after finishing the last mission and went through this little hallway. And then we go through this door and it's like, next mission. And, like, none of the other games do that.
I think where it gets really weird is towards the end of the game where you're on the last mission and then like halfway through like escaping the castle, it's like, hey, do you want to, or do you need a reminder that you're on the last mission? And it's like, yeah, I remember.
Remember what the mission was?
Isn't it called Guiding Light, or no, Mother's Light or something like that?
Oh no, I mean
or Mother's Guide.
I mean, that's what it feels like. The idea is like, hey, do you remember what the mission was? Yeah, it was escape. How could I forget that I'm supposed to be escaping?
Right.
Anyway.
And it just feels odd that like it tells you, okay, this is what the mission is, and then it reminds you like midway.
You notice a bunch of the rocks come off Phantom's front legs?
I didn't see that.
Kind of suggesting that the battles have actually been taking a toll on Phantom.
Finally! I was getting tired of playing your childish games.
Yep. So yeah, air raid.
I love air raid for Phantom.
Fucking brutal. And there you go, Final Phantom. Oh, that was an FMV.
It's weird how he's stupid easy in the second fight.
It might be the space and the lack of pillars obstructing you, but it also might be by this point you really have to have gotten used to how to play the game to get this far.
That's true.
You notice how this is clearly an FMV though?
Yeah.
You're right. I'm his son, Dante.
I love when this game gets stuff like that.
To me, this is like Dante's best personality. And like we already said that, but like I do like Ruben Langdon as Dante, but I think the writing pushes it a little much a lot of the time.
Defeated the Phantom. Incredible power.
Hey Trish, where the fuck have you been?
She was getting lunch, man.
Didn't get me any. I didn't see no paper bag full of food in her hand. She wasn't buying me any lunch.
But yeah, I think somebody just they were like, oh, people really liked 3. Well, let's just do that again. But like, I don't know. They shouldn't have done that. They should have evolved the character more.
It's definitely something I was disappointed with in 5, where Dante's character felt like he reverted right back to 3. He's a little more mature in 4, but like not as mature as he is in 1. But like 5 feels like he went right back to 3. And it feels like they forgot the point of Dante is not a likable character in Devil May Cry 3.
I think he's alright in 5, but you made a good point when you said that, you know, once the big bad is revealed or whatever, it's just like, oh, I have to kill him because it's him, not for any good reason. Just I need to kill this guy because I need to kill this guy.
Yeah, it's like all the other games. Like Devil May Cry 3 is the prequel. And it's like, okay, so Dante is very childish in that, and that makes sense. Dante is not a likable character in Devil May Cry 3 because he is immature, like incredibly immature, and that's part of his growth through that game. And like Devil May Cry 3 is supposed to be showing his maturation into the character in 1. and then 4's supposed to be like post 1. And it's a little cockier than 1. But it's trying to strike a balance between 1 and 3. It's reasonable. And then
Yeah.
Devil May Cry 5 comes along, and it's like, yeah, no, straight back to how we were. Right back to how we began.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think he does all right until he shows up, and then it's just like you said, reverting back to 3.
Something we'll definitely have to get into when we get to 5. Alright. I'm sure the trick can be pulled off with the grenade gun. There it is. You have to roll. You can't do the walk because it knocks you back. So you have to roll, cancel out the animation.
Yeah, so everyone's got a trick.
At that point, like, okay, so the grenade gun is pretty strong. And it's like, that's why it fires so slowly.
Yeah.
And that's your fire rate. But like, then you break it, like, and then roll and bam, and then roll and bam. Shall I use the trident? Well, yeah, we're not going to use it as a weapon. You think it's weird that at no point during the series did Dante get a spear?
I mean, you can kind of cheat and say that Cerberus has an ability where it turns into a spear, but he never actually does get a spear weapon, so yeah.
You're talking Cerberus weapon in 5?
In 5, yeah.
I always consider that more of a staff. God damn it.
I would, yeah, okay. I'll call it a staff, yeah.
And even then, like, I never really used the staff capability for it. Thanks for playing. I didn't really get a whole lot of use out of, like, most of Dante's weapons in 5.
The one that I didn't really care for was the motorcycle.
Yeah, the Cavalier.
Yeah, I didn't care for that one. That's the one I didn't get a lot of use out of.
He's very slow.
Yeah, I'll use it to keep a combo going, but like I'll immediately switch to something else.
Yeah. For me, I think like my most used weapon for Dante in 5 was Balrog. Like even beyond Rebellion. And like there's a reason for that, which we'll get into when we get to 5. But I really liked how Balrog handled. It was like probably my favourite fist weapon of the series. You know, which is hard because Beowulf is a good weapon. Alright, let's get Ifrit.
I think it takes the best of all the melee weapons, and it uses them, or it takes, like I said, it takes the best of them, and that's why it's so great.
Hmm. No, there's an invisible wall though.
Stupid invisible walls.
Alright. I always forget the order of stuff once we get out of the castle. It's like a lot of people tell you like the castle is like a really boring environment in the first game, and like everything there blends together. Well, I remember the individual rooms of the castle. Once we get out of the castle, it feels like a lot of the outside blends together.
Yeah, I disagree. I actually really love the castle compared to like this part is not really. I don't think it's that great. It's not bad, but I think the castle's better.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm saying. Plus, you know, these fuckers. Remember, kids, there's no need to fight fair against Devil May Cry 1 enemies. They're not gonna fight you fair. Okay. Get that yellow orb.
And if you go on higher difficulties, they still don't fight fair.
If you're gonna fight fair on hard or above, then you're an idiot.
Right.
Nose with red light. It's always kind of surprising to me that Devil May Cry 2 decided to go with more open outdoor environments, when I think the open outdoor environments of Devil May Cry 1 are the weakest part.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's why DMC2 feels so much like a slog. It's just there's just nothing to do in these open environments. You're walking through a giant map just to get to a door.
Hmm. And the sacrifice of making the environment so much bigger is they're so much less detailed.
Right.
Alright, let's go get Ifrit and get introduced to the next... I hesitate to say major threat because, you know, like, Phantom isn't a major threat and the guy coming up isn't a major threat. Like, the next major antagonist, I guess.
Right.
Alright, let's do some awful, awful fixed perspective platforming. Devil Star. Get you in a minute. I think this is going well so far.
Hey, you're doing good.
It's gonna get worse later. When they introduce stuff like the Frosts and the Nobodies.
Yeah, you've got it then.
I'll be honest, I don't have the Nobodies in 5. And Nobodies are a pain in the ass.
Nobodies are a pain just regardless. I remember as a kid, I would fight them and be like, why won't you just die?
Yeah. It's like I said, like, cool that they... God damn it. I said, like, cool that they bring back the, Sin Scissors in Devil May Cry, but also, you know, fuck them for bringing back the Sin Scissors in 5. It's not cool that they bring back the Nobodies in 5.
Plus, they're not even used that much. I think they're used for that one scene, and then they're used again in certain areas, but after that, you really don't see them again. So they're kind of brought back for no apparent reason, other than just to be like, hey, look, we brought an enemy back.
Yeah, they're around enough to be irritating, but not enough to stop your progress.
Right.
So I think Ifrit is actually kind of unique as far as the punchy weapons go in the series, because Ifrit is just a pair of gauntlets.
Yeah.
Whereas Beowulf and Gilgamesh were gauntlets and greaves, and Beowulf would switch between them depending on what move you did. Like, it was only one at a time, but it'd switch pretty quickly.
And Ifrit's just, hey, you want some fiery gloves?
Yeah, punchy boy. And then, of course, what does the smart player do as soon as they get Ifrit?
How to use it?
No,
Or
they
just-
switch immediately back to Alistair.
Yeah.
Like, Ifrit's cool, but Alistair is always going to be your main weapon.
Ifrit does have its uses, but yeah, it's one of those. I mean, it's for any game where you're just like, yeah, this has worked for me for so long, I'm not gonna switch.
Yeah. I love this line coming up.
Yeah, me too.
Block off, Featherface, or you can stick around and find out the hard way.
I love the MC1 dancing. I love that they brought that line back in Bayonetta.
I'd have to play Bayonetta again. It's been a while since I played Bayonetta.
I can assure you she does at one point say flock off Featherface.
Bayonetta just has a lot of cool references to older Capcom games.
Especially, like, specifically games that Kamiya directed.
Yeah.
Like when
when,
Luca is talking about his old girlfriends, and they are all the names of characters from games Kamiya directed.
I was just about to reference it, yeah. There's Claire, Trish,
Sylvia.
yeah. And I think the first time I played, I didn't actually get that until someone like pointed it out to me, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense."
Claire, Trish, Sylvia. He says Amy, but he clearly means Amaterasu from Okami. I feel like there's a fifth one I'm missing, and I can't think what it is.
Yeah, see, I don't remember all of them. The big ones I remember is Trish and Claire.
Because you've played those games.
Right. Pair of flames that will. Let's see.
Oh boy.
I hate these guys.
They need to cool off. I think one thing Devil May Cry 1 really does kind of encourage that I feel the rest of the games in the series don't, is liberal use of Devil Trigger.
Yeah.
Especially with how fast your DC meter refills.
Because in the later games, Double Trigger is kind of just like, oh, well, if you don't know any more moves, you can use the Double Trigger move, and we'll kind of count that as a new move. But like you said, it really doesn't have a lot of uses in the later games.
Like, I think at its worst, Devil Trigger is a power boost.
Yeah.
And that's one thing, you know, I will give Devil May Cry 2 credit for. It does more interesting stuff with Devil Trigger.
Yeah. It doesn't fully realize its potential, but yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah. Whereas in 3, 4, and especially 5, it's mostly just a power boost. 5 tries to bring back the thing 1 does, specific moves exclusive to Devil Trigger that are far more useful. But it doesn't really hit as well as 1 does.
Yeah.
I don't like the Sin Trigger.
I don't really care for it either. It's trying to be the super Devil Trigger from 2, but I don't know. I don't think it's very executed very well.
Yeah.
And not to mention, like, I also didn't like how eventually your vitality meter and your Devil Trigger meter all just became like a meter. Like, whereas in this, you can tell the difference between your vitality and your Devil Trigger. They look different.
Yeah.
Whereas in the later games, it just became, oh, here's the meter.
I think the runes to represent the Devil Trigger does work out really well because it's very clear against all of the backgrounds.
Right.
Whereas like 3 makes them the orbs, when the orbs are kind of dull. And I don't remember what they look like in 4.
In 4, I think it's a bar. Let me look it up.
I don't think it's a bar. I think that came in with 5. You know, it's always a weird thing to remember just how short Devil May Cry 1 is.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those games where I can beat in like an hour or 2.
I mean, you've done that on your stream. You beat it in 1 sitting and it wasn't really even going that long.
Right. So it's not really a meter. It's more like squares that are like sectioned off. The first 3 are like cut off from the rest of them, but it's a stylistic bar. Is the best way to describe it.
I'm glad they got rid of red orb doors later in the series.
Yeah, I don't know why it was a thing. I guess to keep the player from, you know, swimming in orbs.
But the problem is, like, you don't know that you're going to have to do them until you come up to them.
Right.
It's like, we had the Divinity statue just before that room, and I was like, do I want to throw some upgrades into Ifrit? And I was like, wait, I think there's a red orb door somewhere around here.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
That, the problem of, oh, well, I used all my orbs for upgrades and now I can't get to the store.
Yeah, so you got to start grinding.
Right.
I think 13's pretty good. Rolling Blaze is always great. And the problem with all of this is, like, I'd like to know how to actually do these before I buy them so I can judge what type of moves they are.
Yeah.
Magma Drive, that's your launcher. Tick 13, that... The picture of it makes it look like it's going to be your Stinger equivalent, but Roundhouse Kick suggests that it's not.
Yeah.
Rolling Blaze isn't all that useful. I think that activates when you jump. It's not useful.
Yeah, it's more or less kind of like a defensive jump. I never use Meteor. Inferno's good, but Inferno's expensive.
Yeah. I think we'll go with Magma Drive. Kick 13. And then, like, we'll leave that now.
13 sounds like a Capcom game.
There is a game called 13. It's based on a French graphic novel. You may be aware of it because of its recent remake that turned out to be garbage.
Oh yeah, I think I did hear about that.
What do we got? Hold back and yeah, it's your launcher. Direction Dante's face and forward, so it is your stinger. So here we go, launcher. And stinger. And the range on it isn't great. I think that's probably the most we're going to get out of Ifrit because it's really not going to be our main weapon.
Yeah.
Even if you like Ifrit, it doesn't really have the utility that Alistair does. And especially not in BT form.
Yeah, I would say, from what I learned, because I played this game a lot, is that Ifrit only becomes necessary in the harder difficulties because it makes certain bosses tolerable.
Yeah.
But if you're just playing on normal, then Alistair is the way to go.
Like, the only enemy I can think of that I'm not going to want to use Alistair for is lightning bats. And that's because, you know, it's probably a good idea not to hit lightning bats with a lightning sword.
See, that's always been my thinking when I fight them is, well, I mean, they're lightning, so if I hit them with Alistair, that's going to do nothing to them. I mean, you can kill them with Alistair, but it's going to take longer.
Yeah. And since they tend to come at you in groups, the faster you kill them, the better.
Right.
This is not a good area for, like, such a large group of enemies. Because, like, the three pathways, having to go run along back and forth on them to hit the enemies. It's not great.
Right. And then if you accidentally activate the orb thing or whatever, and then it goes away and you don't see where it went, that also is another problem.
Check is on square as well as circle in this game, isn't it? Let's find out. It is, yeah. That's awkward, so like you try to shoot and you accidentally activate this.
Yeah.
Valley of the Mist, one must choose the right path to enter the Lost Land. Only those who protect the weak light shall have the power to decipher the right path.
Oh shit.
Like marionettes, sure. Sensors. Okay, it went left.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, I want to make sure of that, like... Yeah, no, let me grab the orbs before you run off, please. Do you remember the pathways for this, or is it, like, always random?
I think the pathways are the same, but if you try to go ahead of the orb, it doesn't count. At least I think that's how it is. Because I think I tried to just run through it because it was like, okay, well, go this way, go this way, go this way. But if you don't activate the orb, then the I guess you could say the puzzle doesn't activate. Which it's weird how it's designed that way, but...
That the last one? Awesome. Rock spiders. I forgot these things don't get an introduction cutscene.
Yeah, I think the first time I saw these things, I was like, what, I'm fighting Phantom again? What the hell?
You know, if there's one thing that I like about Phantom compared to these things, Phantom pretty much always faced you.
Yeah.
Hey, Clem. How you doing? Alright. I'm doing okay. How you doing, Ninja?
I'm good.
Holy water. Have you used the holy waters?
I did use the holy waters. That was one of the many strategies I tried when trying to deal with Phantom.
Did it work?
No, it didn't work. I think I remember I bought like 5, which is all I could muster with the orbs I had.
Oh.
And then I used it, and then it took off like a tiny bit of health, and I was like, that's it! That's all it's gonna do! Oh yeah. And then I was like, well, I don't have any orbs now, because I wasted my orbs.
Ugh. This game really is stingy with orbs.
Yeah,
Alright, so number-wise, I think we're now halfway through the game. There's 20 chapters, right?
21, I think.
21.
21 or 22.
Alright.
Because I think mission 20 is legendary battle, and then mission.
Uh-oh. Yeah, this thing's pissing me off. Oh, I seem to have lost connection. Okay, that's back. There we go. Yeah, it looks like I lost connection there.
Yeah, I was wondering what happened.
I was wondering why you went quiet. Because like you were in the middle of a sentence.
Yeah. Well, the stream was buffering, so I just thought, okay, well, it'll come back, and then it never came back, and then I tried seeing if you were still in Discord, but I didn't get any response, so...
Yeah, it was doing the RTC disconnected thing on Discord, which is where it's like, yeah, you're not connected to the call, but we're not actually gonna give you any kind of notification about that.
Great.
Yeah, it's frustrating. We're back now, though. I was hoping the troubles with that were over after yesterday's stream went pretty much without a hitch. Anyway, fucking scythe bastard. Any thoughts on the scythe, Ninja?
He's an asshole and I hate him.
Yep. Stupid fast as well.
I actually think this one's a bit more fair though, because it doesn't like I was saying with the first one. I don't think it's got a like a oh you can only damage him for at a certain point, and then you have to wait until he becomes available to hit again. I think with this one you can just wail on him and he'll die super quick.
It took a lot of wailing on him actually.
There we go.
Nah, he's dead now though. Alright. So yeah, we're back now. Fucking stupid internet troubles again. Like, yesterday was my first stream in like 3 weeks where I didn't have a disconnect. It's been crazy.
Yeah, Twitch has been on the fritz ever since I kind of took a break.
It's not even just Twitch, because like having the Discord troubles as well, and like the disconnects on Discord as well, which says that it can't just be Twitch; it has to be my internet connection as well.
Right.
You know, which makes things even more awkward.
It's the same thing with Teak.
Yeah, I've seen Teek's been having some troubles.
There's an inscription. Age of Doom.
What was that?
The Cage of Doom.
Age of Doom.
That doesn't sound very spooky or like threatening. It's just, oh, it's the Cage of Doom. All right.
That doesn't sound very Christian.
Doesn't sound very holy to me.
Oh, the water. Okay, we come into that one from below then. Alright. We're gonna assault just waiting down here for me. I feel like the timing on this attack, not that one. That one where you do like the 2 upswings with your sword for the 3rd hit. Is really awkward in this game compared to the others.
Yeah.
And like it's pretty much entirely because this game has million stab on the same timer.
Yeah. So you'll either do million stab or you'll do that one. It just depends.
If you wait too long, you'll do million stab. The problem is like the timing on it is very precise, very strict.
Yeah.
Whereas in later games, like million stab is tied to other stuff, like stinger into million stab and stuff like that. Take that blue orb fragment, thank you. It's a shame they never put this on a handheld, because like the missions are so bite-sized. I mean, I guess they did with the Switch, but like the Switch as a handheld is... Yeah, it's kind of awkward. Sign of Chastity. Why does it look like a brain?
Because, I don't know.
Like, my problem with that is, like, I feel like fuckboys are gonna use that as a sign. Oh no, we don't call them footboys anymore, do we? It's incels. Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't think of the words, so I just went to fuckboys.
Okay, it works. Gets the point across.
Yeah. See, here's your problem, guys. If you're gonna crowd around me like that and not let me get my sword hits off, I have explosive weaponry.
You would think they would learn, but, you know.
Hyper-aggression has its problems. Alright, let's go figure out where to use the Sign of Chastity. Gotta love how absolutely pointless that was.
It exists to show off that Dante's quote swirls in the wind.
Yeah, I also noticed that, and I did debate mentioning it, because it does look kind of cool.
I 100%. I feel like that's the only reason that that scene is in there, or that section's in there.
I
Just
could
to show
believe
that
it.
off.
What's this? Cup on the base protected by a powerful light. Prove yourself worthy with the sign. Should I use the Sign of Chastity? Prove you're a virgin, and you can have the cup.
Sir, I refuse this deal.
And here we go in round 2. Hello. I feel like round 2 with Nilo Angelo is very forgettable. Like, less goes on, there's like less story presence for it compared to 1 and 3.
Yeah. I feel like to make an impact, they were like, okay, we need 3 encounters. But they didn't really know where to put the second encounter. So they just threw it in somewhere and then we'll like, but it'll make the third one better.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Having a second encounter to build up to the third one rather than having the final encounter being second.
Right. Like, I think this is just build up. But like you said, there's no story presence to it. It just kind of happens.
Okay, got a problem. Angelo does not give a fuck about air raid.
It's like, oh, you wanna fly? Fuck you.
Can you fly, Dante?
You wanna fly? Fucking fly.
Ah, shit. Alright, I'm gonna use a yellow orb there.
Yeah, go for it, man. You had that one. You just, you know.
I didn't expect air raid to be absolutely worthless. It was my trump card for like everything. Alright, let's do this.
The Divine Dead.
You know that third fight's gonna be fucking brutal then. If I'm having trouble with number 2.
And remember your training, and you'll make it back alive.
Okay, you know how I'm winning this right now?
You're canceling out his attack.
Yeah, do you know what the button inputs match? Oh, there it goes. You know what the button inputs that I was doing was? Like, basically the strategy of the whole thing? I was just mashing triangle. And I can't believe that it was working so well. There's definitely more swordsmanship on display here compared to the first one.
Yeah, he definitely guards more in this fight than he did in the first one.
This is payback for like him not actually trying at all in the first fight. Because like he didn't, you saw that.
Yeah, he really didn't put up a fight.
My hand was actually starting to cramp up there. Of course, there's also the difference story-wise with that fight of clear win for Dante. You know what the problem is, though, that we've got? Ghost ship's coming up.
What's that?
The ghost ship's coming up.
Oh yeah, everyone's favorite part.
Yeah. Hey, you got any of those green orbs down here? Appreciate some of those. Anybody? Jealous shall open the gate to the dark path. Alright, put the chalice down.
All this guy wanted was a chalice.
You know, if there's one thing I'll give DMC 2 credit for, the water levels were definitely better. I will then give DMC 3 more credit for just not having water levels at all. Mission 12, and it's only taken us 11 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah. It's been a long 11 hours.
Oof. Saving up for that next purple orb. I get that, 'cause I think that's probably the last purple orb. I get that, and then like I'm probably just gonna get air hike next.
Sounds good.
Fucking needle gun.
You cannot use your devil trigger. Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
So wait, does the game just give you the needle gun?
I think the needle gun is somewhere in the ship. Like, I don't think it introduces enemies underwater until you get it.
I don't remember if you even like acquire it.
You gotta love the way, though, it starts mission 12 with, like, underwater controls, and immediately you can just feel the entire room go, ugh.
I remember having trouble with it when I first played the game, but I never really disliked the water level.
I think the problem is, like, the major gameplay shift that it represents.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it's not particularly difficult, and you never have to do anything major in there.
And it doesn't last long either.
Yeah. That's the
But
point
it's
I'll
just one
give
of the
to...
many-
I'm sorry, Ninja, go on.
I was gonna say it's just one of the many points in DMC where the gameplay just switches from the norm.
Shit. It's definitely a point I'll give to DMC 1 over DMC 2. Because DMC 2's water levels do last longer. They're more bearable than this, but they last way longer.
I don't really know. I don't even remember the water levels. I know there's water levels in them. I just don't remember them that well.
They're not in first person. You play them basically like normal.
Right.
Just like, I think with some underwater physics applied. Like moving slower and shit.
I think the only one I remember is the Lucia fight. Or no, not the fight, but just the section.
Essentially a thought, there's the needle gun. When we get to DMC2, do you think we should do Dante or Lucia first?
Well, Dante's longer. So, I don't know, it just depends on how quickly you want the nightmare to be over.
I promise you I've played worse. Like, for all the shit people give Devil May Cry 2, I've played worse. Like, I've played more boring as well. Devil May Cry 2's biggest problem is that it's just not that interesting, but I've played more boring games.
I can agree with that. I mean, like you're saying, in the grand scheme of things, is it the worst thing ever? No. But in terms of like what came before it, which is DMC 1, you're like, okay, this is pretty shit.
Thank you, Teak. You take care of yourself, buddy. Hope you have a good day. That's a quote that actually will work for Devil May Cry 2. Like the first part of the quote.
How does this new sword work exactly like my old sword? Oh, it's because I'm using my old sword.
At least there's no oxygen meter in this.
Yeah.
And like the ease of underwater combat does bring up the question of like, what's even the point of it? But like, thank God the needle gun auto aims. Not even anything down here.
A lot of barrels.
God damn it. Alright, boys.
It knocked it back into the water.
Yes, it did. I was kind of wondering, like, after that first hit, I was wondering, like, can they knock me back down? Or will they just, like, put me up against an invisible wall until I choose to move in that direction? Because there are some games that do that. And those are good games. The good games that will like let you get knocked into the wall that connects to the next area, but won't actually make you go to the next area unless you push to go in that direction.
Right.
I can't think of an actual example right now, though.
I don't like it when they do that either, though.
What, when they don't push you through until you push something?
Well, when they push you through to the next area, and you're like, but I didn't want to go there. Like, he hit me through there.
Yeah. It's always frustrating. Especially when it resets the room. Like, Castlevania's kind of... since they started doing the Metroidvania thing, Castlevania's always done that, and it can be really frustrating.
Yeah.
The room where you get the shield rod in Symphony of the Night has that. A bunch of enemies that are basically guaranteed to knock you back through the door you came. God damn it. We'll make it up there one day.
We'll get it soon.
And then that might be optimistic. Oh no, there it is.
See?
Alright, so the question is, like, what am I actually doing up here?
I think if you stinger to the front of the ship and you land, you should get a blue orb.
Ah. That's kind of awkward, because I've been stingering to the back of the ship. That's right, stinger is now a verb.
I've been stingering.
Yeah, there's the blue orb fragment. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about when I say, like, you need a guide for a lot of these hidden blue orb fragments.
Right.
Like, there was the bit where we were in the sewers, and it was like, oh, there's nothing here unless you jump. Like, you don't even have to jump in any specific direction, just jump, and then a blue orb fragment appears. Like, that's DuckTales kind of shit. You ever played DuckTales?
Yeah. I haven't played DuckTales.
No. Like, hidden treasure will appear on the screen if you go into specific spots on the screen, and it's really kind of arbitrary. That's right, DuckTales. Woo.
Woo! Very enthusiastic.
Eh, you know me, I'm just dripping with enthusiasm.
He oozes enthusiasm.
Hey, let me check the log door. Something written. The ship that carries wandering souls on the brink of the underworld. Protect the ship and you shall be given the fire of Saint Elmo. Ah, fuck.
I think they would give this guy a better name other than Saint Elmo.
I think it is actually a pre-existing mythology thing.
Wow. Did not know that.
Okay, awesome. Got the, refilled devil trigger. Which is good, because I didn't want to use all of it before the Griffin fight. Because this Griffin fight is just awkward.
Yeah, it is.
Well, we're off somewhere else. You know,
I think the thing that's weird. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just gonna say I think it's weird that they don't tell you the mechanics of how to handle this fight as well.
Like, this ship, going on this ship with the feeling that it's taking us to a completely different area that we're going to play through. You know, I mean, it's not, because we're going to end up back where we came. But it makes me think of Ninja Gaiden. And then think of, like, the weird rivalry that Ninja Gaiden apparently had with Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
And my thought of, like, having played through Ninja Gaiden recently, like, Ninja Gaiden is not as good as this.
Yeah.
And also, this is considerably less bullshit. Yeah, Itagaki tried to foster some kind of rivalry between Ninja Gaiden and Devil May Cry, and Kamiya very clearly did not care.
Sounds like something Kamiya would do. You're like, I don't care.
Yeah. And then Itagaki kept pushing it. And you know what Kamiya's like when you try and push him into shit that has no interest in?
Yep.
He'll start responding in a not very friendly way. There we go. Yeah, between the two, like, this is definitely better than Ninja Gaiden. It's less bullshit. It's got bullshit, but it is so much less bullshit.
Yeah.
It's manageable bullshit.
And it saves its like super bullshit for the harder difficulties, but by then you're like, well, I signed up for bullshit though.
Yeah. Like, what were you expecting playing the mode called Dante Must Die?
Exactly. It's like you said. It's yeah. Well, I signed up for this shit, so.
Find an exit from the ship. Oh, we're like 88 orbs away from buying that last purple orb.
Quick, go kill a marionette.
I feel like we'll run into other things before we run into a marionette. Staff of Hermes. You remember where that's supposed to go? Of course, we are left with a problem, though. How do we get back into the castle?
We ask nicely. Say, hey, can I go back in? And they tell us no, then we just say, oh, we gotta find another way in. We'll climb the wall.
Climb the wall. And now we're underwater. It's weird that, like, they actually do these first-person underwater sections, which basically give you free reign of the camera. Because the texture work isn't bad when the camera is controlled by the game.
Yeah.
And, like, this isn't a
lot
complaint
of the
with Devil May...
paintings that... Go ahead.
No, go on.
I was just gonna say the paintings you can actually tell are actual paintings.
Hmm. And, like, this isn't really a complaint with Devil May Cry, because it's a PS2 game from, like, 2001. Of course, the texture quality isn't great. But, like, nothing, pretty much. Any game that let you get that close to the textures from this era, or even, like, PS3 era, didn't have good-looking textures. It's like, hey, Metroid Prime's a great-looking game. What's the downfall of its visuals? The textures. But it's weird after taking control of the camera for the entire course of the game. They just give you this underwater first-person section where you have full control of the camera. Where does this go?
And I love how the music is like, oh, we better get out of here quick. But like, there's no timer or anything.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. The cutscene of the sinking ship, and it sets it up to be like, oh no, panic. But we're not drowning. Alright, so I think what we want to do is leave the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And then turn around and go right back in. Good news is now we can buy that purple orb.
And that's the last one you said you needed, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Well, I assume at that cost, it's like the last one that can be bought. And yeah. I think Devil May Cry 1 like doesn't have purple orbs obtainable any other way.
I don't believe so, yeah.
So like that'll be max Devil Trigger.
Yeah.
Definitely something worth grinding the orbs for. Yeah, and then we head back into the captain's cabin, I think. There you go.
I forgot about this one.
I think this is the only secret mission that gives you an entirely new environment.
Yeah. It looks very different.
Come on. God damn it. I feel like most of these are probably close to death. I just need to actually get a few more hits on one of them and start taking them down. I think this is actually the most water combat the game ever really expects of me.
Yeah.
And, like, to be fair, it's a secret mission.
Yeah, this is probably I mean, I could see someone who played this and be like, oh yeah, the water levels suck. Wait, didn't it say you had to do this in a certain amount of time?
No, it's just defeat the
Eliminate the
enemies and
enemies?
escape confinement.
I see.
Okay, 2 more. And the big problem with it, like, actually even dealing with this mission is just, like, 8 of them at once.
Yeah.
It's like the game previously threw 2 at me at most at once. Yay, blue orb. But I can't get those red orbs that last assault dropped. That's not fun. Anyway.
It's weird how they just spawn you back in here and it's like, yep, travel all the way back.
The secret missions are just weird in this, like, entirely how they're handled. It's like, this is another point where we're between missions.
Yeah. I didn't even know there was secret missions till I got the guidebook for it.
It's like, you'll stumble across some of them, like Baby Phantom 2, check out that one room at that specific time. It's possible you'll find that. This one, when you leave the ship, go back in and examine the captain.
Yeah, that's obscure.
And I tried examining the captain when we were in there before. There's nothing you can do with him. It doesn't bring up any dialogue or anything. It's like, to think to go back and do it then? Like, you wouldn't do that.
Right.
Alright, and that is the end of the water level. We just grab that obvious blue orb fragment. Thank you.
Blue orbs look cool in this game.
My favourite orb designs are in DMC 3, but that's really just because that's the only time they have individual faces.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just on their own design, though, I do like the smooth aesthetic of them in this. It's like 3 having individual faces is cool, but they don't look as smooth, and I do like the smoothness.
Right.
I was really disappointed with 4 and 5 that they just went back to them having the same faces again.
Yeah.
Deep darkness and towering mountains.
Mission 14 already, man. I feel like we're blazing through this.
Yeah, I'm surprised how quickly we're getting through it. I don't know how fast we're going to get through Devil May Cry 2. I feel like that'll be the longest game.
Yeah, I feel like
Oh, there's another
smart
one.
decision for that one is just to do Dante's campaign one week, and then do Lucia's the second week.
I believe it is probably a lot to ask for 1 week to do. I believe it's a lot to expect to get through a full campaign in 1 week. In one session.
Yeah, because I mean that game is pretty boring, so...
I just mean for lengthwise.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Devil May Cry 3, I'm gonna say 3 sessions, break it up with the Virgil fights. 4, I'm not sure. I feel like 4 could be done in 2 sessions if we push it a little bit. Up until when you control Dante and then, like, the rest of the game. But I feel like that's not entirely even, because you take control of Dante in Mission 12, don't you? Or 13.
I believe so, yeah.
And then, like, I don't know how we're gonna do 5. Because I have only done 5 once all the way through.
It's been a while since I played 5.
I don't have the same desire to replay stuff that I did when I was younger. Like, I've done 3 so many times. But 4 I've done, like, 3 times, I think. I've done DMC twice. And it's not even because it's a bad game. Because it's not. I just don't have the same desire to replay stuff.
Yeah.
Big part of what the stream's about, actually. Like, we do a lot of blind playthroughs on here, but also, like, really want to replay the stuff that I'm not going to replay on my own time.
I think with 3, the problem is I played that so much because I wanted to get better at the combat, that maybe that's why I just like it so much. It's just because it's not fun for me because of how much I had to wrestle with it.
I can understand that. I have kind of a similar issue with Symphony of the Night. It's a fantastic game, and like, I can do it back and forth, backwards and forwards, and there's a lot to love about it. I've done it so much that I don't want to play Symphony of the Night again.
Right.
And I feel like Symphony of the Night is probably the best example I should bring up whenever anybody asks me why I don't speedrun stuff.
Yeah.
There's like, to play something enough to know it well enough for speedrunning purposes takes so much. And like, I've done Symphony of the Night that much, and I don't want to ever play it again.
Yeah. This is why I stay away from, like, I'm all for good times and like RE games and stuff like that, but it's never like, oh, well, the world record is like 48 minutes. It's like, yeah, but I'm not, fussed about getting that, low of a time. Like, just beating the game in an hour is enough for me.
Yeah. Like, RE2, I can do all the scenarios in under an hour and a half. And I'm happy with that. Whenever I replay it, I'm competing with myself, not trying to hit a world record. It's like, can I beat a previous time that I've done? No? Oh well. I'm not going to reset because I made a mistake, because then I will just end up at a point where I will not play this game again.
That's me when I played the RE2 remake. Is I played it so much that I know when I fuck up, and it's like, okay, well, I'm not gonna get a personal best this time. But it's like you said, I don't let it bother me, because if I do, then I'm never gonna play it.
Yeah. It's like you do have to give a lot of respect to speedrunners, and I feel like it's a very underappreciated thing of speedrunners. It's like, yeah, speedrunners will play games to death, But also, do you know how hard it is to play games to death
Right.
and then still keep playing them?
I mean, I did that with Mass Effect recently, and that was, I mean, by the end of 3 playthroughs of Mass Effect 1, I was like, okay, give me Mass Effect 2, because I'm tired of playing Mass Effect 1.
Yeah, I can't believe you jumped straight back into the Legendary Edition as soon as it came out. Also, I would like to invite you to join me for the Mass Effect series playthrough once we finish with Devil May Cry.
Alright.
No, I'm actually
into
kidding.
it.
I'm not going to make you do that.
It's funny, because my brother knows that I play a lot of Mass Effect, and he recently got it himself, and he's calling me like every so often, being like, okay, so if I do this, what's gonna happen? And I have to tell them, it's like, okay, well, if you do this, this will fuck shit up in like 2 or 3.
Oh.
And just today, before we started, he was on the phone with me, and his wife was next to him. She was like, "Why don't you just play the game and find out for yourself?"
Yeah. It's like, I definitely know that feeling. You want to not fuck things up really badly, but you also don't want to be spoiled for it.
Right.
It's like you want to try and balance it out, and it's really awful. It's a good series.
I think the one where I realized that I super fucked up was when I got to 2, and then after a couple playthroughs of having Rex's brother be like the clan leader of the Krogan, I started to realize, like, you know what, this is a bad idea. I should probably go back and save Rex.
Yeah, you probably should. You monster.
Oh, dude, I was so pissed when fucking Ashley killed him. I was like, you bitch.
Yeah, if that happens when I do Mass Effect 1 on stream, like, I will be sorely tempted to just restart the entire playthrough.
The demoralizing thing is they make you think he's gonna drop his gun, and then she shoots him, and you're like, what are you doing?
This is why we're going for Caden, bitch. Oh. Wheel of Destiny.
Is it an actual wheel, or we just name and shit that? 'Cause it sounds cool.
I say Wheel of Destiny to me, and I think primarily Soul Reaver. They call it the Wheel of Fate in that specific. I feel like there's probably a point where he calls it the Wheel of Destiny. Ah, shit.
Forget about the bigger ones of those.
You know what's kind of awkward with the grenade gun?
What's that?
Can't fire it in the air.
Yeah, that's weird. I think that's one of the things that would mess me up on the harder difficulties when I first played this. Was because I used the grenade launcher, but like you said, you can't fire the grenade launcher in the air, so I would try to shoot and I couldn't do anything. And then shooting on the ground just leaves yourself open.
The problem with this, like, the roll is tied to the jump, which it always is. It's tied to the X button.
Yeah.
But, like, 3 and onwards gives you Trickster as, like, a more effective dodge.
Yeah. Which works better.
The iframes are bigger for it as well, which is really good. Because, like, you gotta respect the Royal Guard players. Because, like, the timing of that is ridiculous. But I think a truly efficient Trickster player is a sight to behold.
Right. I've seen some shit being pulled off of the Royal Guard, though.
Oh, yeah. Use the Emblem Shield.
And Gunslinger looks cool, like when people who know how to use it, but it's never like, yeah, I'll try Gunslinger. It's just like, oh, well, that looks pretty, but I don't really care.
Because the guns do so little.
You got a
I got a
shiny
rock.
thing. That's what it is. It's a shiny rock. It's a glowing rock.
Really hate when these things block and then immediately counter with a fire stream.
Yeah, I hate that.
Like, they do it so fast.
That's why for them, I typically just use Ifrit and like Inferno, so that way they can't block me.
Fair enough. I don't think I've even used the Ifrit for combat yet.
But even with Ifrit, I mean, they'll still block you, so I mean, it really doesn't matter what you use.
Yeah. That's it, just yellow orb.
That's another thing. I mean, we talk about the game being stingy with orbs. They really don't give you a lot of yellow orbs in the game.
I think we started with 3 and we found like 4.
Yeah. I think how the game balances it out is that for every blue orb you find, it gets replaced into a yellow orb. I hate this room.
Yeah, this room is honestly shit.
And then what's terrible is that the cut. I mean, you're still going while the cutscene plays.
Coliseum and trust the Conqueror with the lance. Time has come and so have I.
Time has come to open the door. You think somebody saw that line in DMC1 and they were like, you know what? I'm gonna make a song out of that.
Well, the time has come is a pretty common idea. That's why we get to make fun of it so often. Because, like, it's not everywhere, but it's common enough.
Right.
And let's be fair, it's ridiculous, but like, so are the lyrics of like every song in DMC 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. Well, DMC2 is just fucking rock.
Oh, I mean, 3,
Like,
4, and 5.
They just got royalty-free music, and they were like, yeah, we'll use that.
I have the, I got the deluxe edition of DMC5, Because like, it came with some neat little goodies. The main thing I was interested in was the live-action cutscenes, which I was really hoping would involve the It's like, you ever seen the stuff Ruben Langdon's put up on his YouTube channel of like the motion capture for Devil May Cry 3 and 4?
I've seen a bit of it, yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping it'd basically be that kind of thing for 5. And it kind of is, but it's with the Japanese motion capture team.
Yeah, that's what I heard, that it's just them.
It's like, they do good work, but I was hoping to see, like, Ruben Langdon and Johnny Young Bosch doing it.
Yeah.
But it also comes with a music pack, which gets you 3 music tracks from the DMC 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like, 3 music tracks each. And the music from 2, like, I tried it, and it's like, I don't recognize any of it.
Yeah, it's forgettable.
Oh, it's nighttime.
Yeah, I ordered a bit too late for my Devil May Cry 5, so I wasn't able to get deluxe, so I ended up buying the DLC pack later on. So I do own that now, but I didn't have it at launch. So everyone was like, "Oh, it's cool. You can put Ultraviolet on Dante's fighting theme," and it's like, "Oh, well, I can't."
I put Devils Never Cry on Dante's theme. I fucking love Devil Never Cry. Great. The problem with having it as a standard battle theme is it does not get time to start up.
Yeah. I was watching someone do the Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition with Virgil, and you know, the Bury the Light is such a long song that it doesn't even get to start up as a battle theme. Like, you spend most of your time building it up, and then once the battle's over with, it's like the song is barely starting and then it's over.
I think it's part of a problem tied with the idea of like playing different parts of the song with different rankings.
Right.
I can't be sure if they do that with the if they do that with the songs that came with the DLC, with the deluxe pack. But like, if they do, it would explain a bunch of it, because like, the songs don't really get going properly until you hit like A rank.
Yeah.
It's actually a fair point though. I should probably grab the DLC for Virgil for us to do.
My main thing why I haven't gotten it is just because it's just running through the normal campaign as him, and it's kind of like, well, you want me to pay money? I mean, it's only like $5 over here, but
yeah, the main reason I even consider it is because it's actually really cheap.
Yeah. So, I mean, for $5, I mean, it's not a bad asking price just to go through it with another character, but at the same time, you were asking me to play the campaign again, but with nothing really, you know, added to it.
Yeah, it's the same thing they had with 3 and 4 Special Edition.
Yeah.
It's cool, but also, like, it's just... there's not really anything there.
Wait, you can get Nightmare Beta here?
Yeah, this is where you get Nightmare Beta. Where do you get
I usually get Nightmare Beta in the Mirror World.
Really? I didn't know you could get it in Mirror World. I always get it here.
I didn't know you could get it here. This is new to me.
Huh. Watch as I never use it.
Yeah, I never use it either. But in Mirror World, I think if you go on top of the bedpost, you can find it up there.
Huh. Yeah, no, I've always gotten it from here.
I didn't know that was a thing, man.
Oh shit. You think that might actually be worth doing, taking a look at the alternate characters for the campaigns as we do this?
No, I think if we do that for 4, I think we would just be dragging our feet then. I think we could take a look at them certainly, but I don't think if we've never finished the playthrough, I don't think we shouldn't worry about it.
With 4, I wouldn't really. I have no interest in doing a full playthrough with Lady and Trish.
Yeah, I agree with that. I waited so long to play as Trish, and then I got to her and I was like, oh, she sucks.
If you want to play as Trish, you know what you should do.
What, play DMZ 2?
Oh, yeah, and you can always play Marvel vs. Capcom 3. But yeah, beating hard mode with Devil May Cry 2 unlocks Trish. And honestly, like, I'd say you probably are better off playing through Lucia's campaign as Trish. For one reason more than anything, and that is that Trish has guns.
Oh, I should go back and beat hard mode with Dante then.
Yeah, basically. That's what I was doing back on PS2. I beat the game with Dante, I beat it with Lucia, and then I beat hard mode with Dante, and started Lucia's game with Trish, and did like a couple missions. I was done. Because like making Lucia play a little better by giving her guns instead of throwing knives is still playing Devil May Cry 2.
Yeah. But I actually hear that Trish is actually like the only character in that game that plays well.
She plays very similarly to Dante, but I think she's closer to the MC1 Dante though.
Yeah.
Do I need air hike to get the blue orb that's up here?
I don't think so. I think...
Oh, there it is. It's an invisible platform. Or like barely visible platform. That was the problem.
This game, it likes to do glass platforms.
Here we go. Hey, Griffin. Air raid. I don't know why Griffin expects this to go any better.
Yeah. But it's also weird how with Griffin they introduce him with his first appearance and then he just kind of shows up.
Yeah, although to be fair, they do that with Phantom as well. Phantom shows up another 2 times. Before he finally says anything again.
Right.
Let me see. Grenade gun. You get down here, you big chunky bird bitch.
I don't know how it's just called the grenade gun.
There we go, jeez. You ever pay attention to the design of Griffin's head? And how it's like 5 heads?
I never noticed it.
I think it's most notable in his death cutscene.
I'll have to look out for that.
But like you can see, he's got like 5 heads, all like angled around his mouth.
Almost got him.
This is kind of a brutal end for Griffin, honestly.
Yeah, I always thought this scene was fucked up.
Yours are definitely the powers of Sparta. Even more so. But
I can see it. I can see the head.
Yeah.
I serve my master Mundus.
You can't fight with that wound.
Mighty is the power of Mundus.
Like, this is one of the character moments that I really like for DMC1, Dante.
One last surge of power.
Yeah, me too.
Power to finish him. Master Mundus. Griffin, you have failed me. You are no longer worthy.
Poor bird.
People give the voice acting in this game shit, but I think it really works where it counts.
I agree.
And like the voice acting for Griffin there, like that was a really good death scream.
You beat him. Maybe it was too easy for you.
Mundus. His heinous ways make me sick, killing even his own, like they were nothing. He's the one that took the life of my mother, my brother, Shirley.
You gotta love Trish's
My father was a man who
confused stare.
fought. He had courage.
Oh, what's that? You're not a complete dick and you actually have personality?
I will.
I did not expect this. That's right, Trish, you fuck off out of here, do your Raiden thing. Yeah, like that death scream for Griffin was great.
Yeah.
Very chilling. I do think it is a shame that they didn't end up getting Drew Coombs back for Nocturne. To voice Dante for Nocturne, because it is the personality that he played.
Yeah. It was a pipe dream, man.
I never expected it. It was always just like a hope.
Yeah.
I think it'd probably be a good idea to call it here.
Alright.
Mission 15 done. I know there's only like five or six more missions, but those ones I feel are longer, and if I do this whole game in one run at this point, I feel I'm going to start making mistakes and getting cranky.
Yeah, no, it's best to call it so you can get cranky, man.
Chances are we'll probably finish this early next week, and so we'll just go straight into DMC2.
Alright.
Alright. So, I guess that about does it for today. We made a lot more progress than I expected to, honestly. I'm really glad I had that save there, with the grinding pre-done. I feel like it really helped, especially to have that buffer room of extra health. And, you know, let's not forget having Air Raid and the Devil Trigger meter.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely recommend spending like 9 or 10 hours grinding on this in some of the secret missions to get some of the upgrades and abilities. That said, you know, with that, you definitely got to give props to the people who do this without the grinding. The people who can do it with everything they get along the way. Like Ninja.
I was waiting for that.
Honestly, it's the case like you're better at this than I am, and you also get through it way faster.
Alright. Fan favorite, man. So I mean, it's I know it just as well as I do original RE2.
So you know half the game then?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. When's the Leon A. Claire B run, Ninja?
That'll be when I retire.
Ninja's swan song. Anyway, you got anything you wanna say before we go, Ninja? Anything you wanna talk about?
No, it's just thanks for having me. I enjoyed watching you play some DMC1. Yeah.
We've had some good discussions here. I think it's been good stuff, and when we get to DMC2, I feel like that's going to be the life of the stream. Because I'll defend stuff about DMC2, and we'll praise a lot of the ideas that it had, but ultimately DMC2 is boring as fuck.
Yeah. We're gonna need chat's help for that one.
Oh yeah. So join us next week, Monday, 8 PM British Summertime BST, which is what time for you, Ninja?
That would be 2 PM my time.
Which is
Central Standard Time.
2 PM Central. Where we'll be continuing and concluding Devil May Cry 1, and presumably, probably starting Devil May Cry 2. We need to decide, like, whether we start with Lucia or Dante. Like,
I mean, honestly, probably Lucia, since she's the one that's gonna have the most bullshit. Because those knives are garbage.
They really are. Like, there's that one boss in particular, the 3-head boss.
Yeah.
Which has to be dealt entirely with ranged weapons, and Dancy and Lucia both fight it. And that boss primarily is the reason why I'd rather go through Lucia's game with Trish, because she has pistols.
Yeah. Unless you want to do Dante first, and then we can do Lucia with Trish, and just not even, you know, just forget that she's a thing.
We can't. I think you need to finish the game to unlock hard mode, and then you need to beat hard mode to get Trish.
Damn.
Yeah. I don't remember if beating the game with one character unlocks the Diesel outfits, though. You remember those?
Yeah, I remember those.
It's like, okay, so DMC1 has an alternate outfit for Dante, which is Legendary Dark Knight, where he dresses as Sparta, which is pretty neat. DMC3 has shirtless Dante from the first mission, Dante in his DMC1 outfit, Dante in his DMC1 outfit without the jacket, and then Legendary Dark Knight Dante. DMC4 has Dante, and then like Dante with different coloured hair and a different coloured jacket, which is really disappointing.
Yeah.
DMC2 has Dante and Lucia in Diesel brand clothing as unlockable outfits.
which I never understood.
It's really weird. It's like, yeah, no, Dante is designed to be really cool, and one thing definitely to give DMC2, it's like one of the coolest Dante designs. It's a really good outfit.
It is.
And then the alternative to it is Dante in like jeans and a jacket. And it's like, what?
And I think he even has a scarf.
He does. He has the scarf. Like, if it didn't require me to... You know what, let me look it up right now, like, what the actual unlock requirements are. Like, do you need to do them as both or not? Oh, this is interesting. Unlock the diesel costumes for Dante and Lucia is finishing the game. Finishing Devil May Cry 2 on normal using Dante unlocks his diesel costume. If you finish it on Dante Must Die mode, you unlock his original appearance from DMC 1.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I was not aware of that.
I wasn't aware of that either.
With Lucia, complete the game to get her diesel outfit. If you complete it on hard mode, you get a second diesel outfit that has striped jeans. Completing Lucia Must Die unlocks the secretary outfit. Completing Devil May Cry 2 on hard with Dante unlocks Trish. You can unlock them with a code. It doesn't unlock the striped jeans outfit, but you can unlock them with a code. That's interesting, actually. I've got the code here. So before we wrap up, I have a save of DMC2. We can take a quick look at it.
All right.
I don't have a save for Lucia, though, so we can only see Dante's. I really wish they'd brought this outfit back as an unlockable in something else. Because it's
like I said, it's a cool design. I mean, yeah.
Like the jacket's
everyone
cool.
shits on the game. Yeah.
No, go on, Ninja. You were saying something.
I was just gonna say that they shit on the design, and it's not bad. It's just the game is bad.
There it is. Dante and Diesel Dante.
Fucking the scarf gets me.
The article that I was looking up for the info on how to do it brought up a fair point. Promotional stuff in Japanese games isn't surprising. Like, Metal Gear Solid ended up doing it a bunch of times. Like, Calorie Mate in Metal Gear Solid 3.
Yeah.
It's an actual thing in Japan. And I think they had a tie-in with Indo at some point.
Yeah, I've always wanted to try Calorie Mate because of MGS.
You mean the way they're like, this is the best food ever?
Yeah.
Yeah. The surprising thing for me, like, the article's like, it's surprising the promotional thing got into the international versions. The surprising thing to me is that it's in the HD versions.
Yeah.
Capcom's got to own it. Like, this whole design, Capcom has to own it. Like, that has to be the only reason.
They just designed the clothes.
Well, any outfit they would have put Dante into would have had to go through Capcom for approval.
Yeah.
Like, this outfit, though. Like, the shade of red is great, and, like, the hairstyle Dante gets in this is a really cool style. Really good. I look forward to being excited about it for, like, 5 minutes, and then, like, playing the game. It is a good design, and you know what? I like Lucia's design as well. And, like, I think it's really cool that Nocturne has this design for Dante.
Yeah.
Look at that. The last time I played this was April of last year. And I did 3 missions. You remember that, Ninja?
I do not remember that.
You were here like, okay, Chrono, you've shown enough. Like, that's enough, Chrono. And I just kept playing more and did like 3 missions of the game before I stopped.
I think I burned it from my brain, so I didn't remember it anymore.
They really should bring this design back. Because, like, DMC3's design is all like, yeah, it's just a coat Dante threw on.
Yeah.
He came out of the shower and was just wearing the clothes he had, and then threw on a jacket to go and fight Virgil. And DMC4 is just like, yeah, let's have DMC1's design, but make it a little more DMC3 Dante-like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then DMC5, I think, is basically just DMC4's design again. Like, this is good. Not afraid to reinvent the wheel. People always say, like, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. And that is true. Like, don't be afraid to throw new ideas out.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're rambling. Or I'm rambling, and Ninja's like, come on, Chrono, end the stream.
It's fine, dude. I'm fine. It's your show. You do what you want.
Yeah, but you're also here with me for as long as I do what I want.
I mean, yeah, but I mean,
Alright, but that's gonna do it for us for today. I want to thank everybody for joining the stream. I always really appreciate the support. Big special thank you to everybody in the chat. Chat is always the best part of the stream. The stream is dying right now, so this is definitely a good time to end it.
it's because you put DMC2 on it. It's like, oh no.
Shit. Let me reset the stream. See if that fixes it. And just as we wrap up. Is it better? That's not better. Alright. So let's actually do the wrap up. Let me switch this. You still with us, Ninja?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Awesome. Come on.
Well, now I'm stuck on
Yeah, it's
ad break.
reconnecting. There we go. See,
There we go.
almost never connects when it says reconnecting. So, like, my solution for that has always been to just disconnect it manually and then reconnect it manually. And that has
Yeah.
always worked better than actually connecting. But if it says starting, like, oh, reconnecting, and it's like, oh yeah, no, we got a connection, we're starting now. And then it's never connected properly, but I can't cancel it while it's starting. So that's frustrating. But yeah, I want to thank everybody for joining the stream. I always really appreciate the support. Big special thank you to everybody in the chat. Chat is always the best part of the stream. We'll be back with more Devil May Cry next week, Monday, 8 PM British Summer Time, which is 2 PM Central Time for those of you on Ninja's time. The big special thank you to everybody in the chat. Teak, Clem, Chansom. Thank you so much for joining us and keeping us company. Chat is always the best part of the stream. And of course, big super special thank you to Ninja for keeping me company and joining me on Devil May Cry.
No problem.
And if you've enjoyed Ninja here today, definitely be sure to check him out.
When I eventually come back.
Ninja has recently played through all of the mainline Resident Evil games as a marathon and is currently taking a break from streaming because that kind of really burnt him out. But when he comes back, definitely check him out. He's a super cool dude. He's very chill. You got any ideas of what you want to do when you come back, Ninja?
Yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. I think the plan is to do Near Replicant since I've gotten that, but I haven't played it. So that's probably gonna be what I'm gonna do first. And then once I get done with that, I'm probably gonna do my own run of the DMC series.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So if you like what you saw here today, definitely check that out. Ninja is definitely better at DMC 1 than I am.
I'm alright.
He's better than I am at DMC 1. And once we get to DMC 3, we could test it out and see who's better. But like DMC 1, no, Ninja's definitely better.
I think you'll be better at 3 because I haven't played 3 in a long time.
Last time I played 3 was for the stream. And like that's a really good reason to not like push this too far. It's like, you remember when it was like, oh yeah, no, DMC 3 is going really good, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I regret that final Virgil fight. Because I went through the entire game refusing to use gold orbs. But like by that point, I was just really tired and I needed it to be done with, and I didn't think I was going to pull it off any better. Ugh.
Well, it's a good thing you're calling it early, because, I mean, that way that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's definitely my hope. And I'm hoping that I don't forget entirely how to play it next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's like you get into the zone with these kind of things, and it's like, yeah, no, let's take a little time off. Then you come back, it's like, how do I hold the controller?
Yep. I've certainly had those moments where I'm just like, okay, how do I play this game again?
Yeah. I don't like that Dante goes over the edge of the screen there.
Does it irk you?
It feels sloppy.
The screens in general just feel sloppy.
You mean for DMC 2 or for the HD thing?
Well, I guess both, because I mean, you would think they would up-res it so it would look nice, but I mean, it still looks like shit.
I think the worst thing is like Dante there doesn't look too bad for the picture, but when you go to Diesel Dante, he looks really like heavily artifacted.
Yeah.
But I think like the difference there is like that looks like promotional art. That looks like an in-game render.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, yeah, definitely give Ninja a check out. Super cool dude. Definitely check out how he handles Devil May Cry 1. As he does it without the 10 hours of grinding off stream. The fun thing is, like, I didn't even do that grinding in preparation for the stream. That was just grinding I'd previously done for when I
Yeah.
eventually do a stream. And I'm glad how well it worked out.
Yeah, I had a plan and it worked perfectly.
It did. It's definitely gotten us through Devil May Cry 1 with a decent idea. And now hopefully it'll hold us up against Nightmare and final Nilo Angelo.
Hopefully.
And hopefully the blue orbs will keep us alive against fucking Space Harry and Mundus.
You got full double trigger, so we should be alright.
Not quite full. There was still at least one more to buy.
Ah, damn. Okay, well, hopefully we can get that before.
Nothing else to buy except Air Hike, which I'm not going to go for.
Yeah, so we should be alright.
Anyway, we're really rambling now. I will be
now
back.
I'm rambling.
It happens. I draw everybody into the ramble. It's a good thing Teak isn't here to encourage it. But yeah, I will be back. I think I'm gonna take Tuesday and Wednesday off, as we're doing Sunday and Monday, and I'll do Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Friday. For this. As we continue Metroidvania, and I want to get at least one more game done for it. Oh shit, the end of May is next week. Like, next Monday is the last day of May.
Great.
This is the problem with, like, switching themes halfway through.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll throw something down. I've been thinking, like, maybe I'll just do Bloodstained, but I might leave Bloodstained off to just do on its own at some point. We'll see, I'll work something out. You play Bloodstained, Ninja?
I've seen it being played, and I enjoyed what I saw. And I guess the interesting thing is I was just thinking about that the other day and was like, I would like to see that game being played again.
It is really cool. My big problem with the idea of playing it is, like, in my head, I kind of want to go through all the Metroidvania Castlevanias before I do it. Which means, like, I've done Symphony of the Night on stream, Aria of Sorrow, and Portrait of Ruin, which leaves us with Circle of the Moon, Harmony of Dissonance, Dawn of Sorrow, Order of Ecclesia. The biggest problem there is Order of Ecclesia, definitely. Difficult game. Yeah, I'll get to Bloodstained eventually. And then who knows, maybe next year for May we'll do Star Wars month again.
Sounds good.
Anyway. So yeah, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, Monday. Back on Sunday with more Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, featuring Dansei from Devil May Cry series. We are playing the original Western release. Like, so we're not playing the HD release. Sunday will be session 8. We've been doing it for 7 weeks so far. Been pushing through it. Only doing it one session a week, which is probably for the best. Probably get, like, sick of it if we're doing more. Because that game can be bullshit. You missed that yesterday, didn't you, Ninja?
I caught a bit of it.
You probably didn't see the bullshit of like an hour and a half worth of progress wasted.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I caught it after that.
That was frustrating. That is Shin Megami Tensei for you. But yeah, Nocturne, Sunday, and of course Ninja and I will be back on Monday with more Devil May Cry, where we will finish up the first one, and depending on how long it takes, we might go into the second one. And then turn right back around. But yeah, join us as the Devil May Cry series continues, as we go through the entire series. Which, of course, includes 2 and the reboot. The reboot does count. Ninja, you've never played the reboot for yourself, have you?
I've never played the reboot, but I've seen it played, but I've never played it myself.
So that'll be interesting to get to. There are things we could say about the reboot, but like we'll leave that till the reboot. But if you're expecting me to hate on it, that's not going to happen.
I can't even hate on it.
Yeah. Like there'll be criticism of some of the stuff of it, but like I think it's a fine game.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that, like once again, I want to thank everybody for watching. I always really appreciate the support. Big special thank you to everybody in the chat. Chat is always the best part of the stream. Back to more Devil May Cry next Monday, 8 PM British Summertime, 2 PM Central. Ninja will be back eventually on his own stream when he feels comfortable with it, with Near Replicant. Definitely check him out. As super cool dude. The link is still in the chat. I will be back Thursday and Friday with another Metroidvania to, I guess, wrap up Metroidvania. Sunday with Nocturne, and next Monday with more Devil May Cry. That's pretty much it. Ninja, anything last words you want to say before we go?
Nope. I'm good.
Alright. Actually, let's point Ninja. How many points do you have?
I have 80.5k.
I feel like I'm probably going to have to, at some point, just like wipe the table clean and just focus on doing the games that are redeemed, because too many people have points to redeem. So you were after redeeming Dragon Age, weren't you?
I was, but I mean, I haven't. It's been so long since I've done my playthrough. That I mean, I plan to get back to it at some point. I was a good bit into it, but I would like to go back and try again. Because I've forgotten everything now.
Leave Mass Effect on there for now, because I was kind of debating just getting into a playthrough of it. Well, I'll leave that on there for now, because I'm not going to get around to it anytime soon.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're getting some more rambling. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So there's not really anything else to say. But thank you all for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic time of day, and take care. We'll catch you next time, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.